There is a simple philosophy that captures the essence of Tom Hanks more clearly than any award speech ever could. Showing up on time, knowing the task, and bringing an idea that you created yourself. To the world, he is one of the most beloved actors alive, a symbol of warmth, reliability, and decency. His presence feels comforting, as if he belongs to the lives of ordinary people. But behind that familiar smile is a man who has lived through deep loneliness, personal regret, health struggles, and the quiet weight of responsibility. His story is not merely one of fame or success. It is a story of endurance, reflection, and learning how to stay kind in a world that often feels unkind. The more you look beyond the roles, the more you realize that his life has shaped the way he moves through the world. Beyond the iconic roles, a quiet, emotional power. Audiences know him as the voice of Toy Story's Woody, the earnest heart of Forrest Gump, the steadfast Captain Miller, and the resilient survivor in Cast Away. These performances are etched into cultural memory, replayed across generations. Yet what often goes unnoticed is how deeply personal many of these roles are. Hanks doesn't disappear into characters through spectacle or exaggeration. Instead, he brings something quieter and deeply human. That ability did not come from ease or privilege. It came from a life shaped by instability, adaptation, and emotional observation. The characters feel real because they emerge from lived feeling, not from imitation or technique alone. A childhood without anchors, instability as a starting point. Born in 1956, Tom Hanks experienced upheaval early. By age 5, his parents' divorce had fractured his sense of home, scattering him across different households, relatives, and stepfamilies. Stability was rare, and each move meant new rules, new expectations, and new classrooms where he was once again the unfamiliar face. That constant displacement created a loneliness that followed him through childhood. He often described himself as shy, awkward, and uncertain, a boy who learned to stay quiet because listening felt safer than speaking. That early instability didn't harden him, it made him sensitive to the emotional weather of other people. He became someone who noticed details others overlooked, a trait that would later become the foundation of his acting. Learning to observe, the emotional education of quietness. Instead of rebelling against his circumstances, Hanks turned inward. He became an observer. In classrooms and living rooms, he watched how people behaved, how they reacted under stress, how they hid fear behind humor or silence. This habit of observation became his emotional education. While other children formed roots, he learned adaptability. While others found belonging, he learned empathy. That emotional awareness later allowed him to portray characters who felt real because they were shaped by genuine understanding rather than imitation. He developed the ability to hold a room with subtlety, to communicate more through presence than through loud expression. The skill of noticing became his greatest acting tool. Loneliness as a creative seed, pain turned into art. The isolation of his youth did not harden him, it sensitized him. Many of his most memorable characters share that same quiet solitude, whether it's a man navigating a world that never fully understands him, or a person stranded alone, forced to confront himself without distraction. These performances resonate because they are not imagined pain, they are remembered emotions. The child who never quite felt at home learned how to translate that feeling into art, giving voice to experiences that many people recognize but struggle to express. In his work, loneliness becomes a language. It isn't melodramatic. It is honest, lived, and familiar. That's why audiences feel a strange comfort watching him. They recognize the truth behind the performance. The unromantic beginning, dreams that didn't pay rent. When Tom Hanks decided to pursue acting, there was nothing glamorous about the journey. In the late 1970s, he moved to New York with ambition but little security. Dreams did not pay rent, and talent alone did not open doors. He took small stage roles, appeared in television pilots that never found an audience, and worked odd jobs just to survive. Rejection became routine. Letters arrived more often than offers, and uncertainty was a constant companion. Yet even in those moments, Hanks approached his work with sincerity, preparation, and respect. He treated every opportunity as an education rather than a stepping stone. That discipline would later become the foundation of a career that has lasted decades. Kindness as strength. How decency became a reputation. In an industry known for competitiveness and sharp ambition, Hanks stood out for an unexpected reason. He was kind. He arrived on time, learned his lines, and treated crew members with the same respect as directors. Early on, this politeness was sometimes mistaken for weakness. He was not loud, aggressive, or demanding, but over time, that steadiness became his defining strength. People trusted him, directors relied on him, fellow actors felt safe working alongside him. Without realizing it, Hanks built a reputation that would sustain his career far longer than charisma alone ever could. His kindness wasn't performative. It was practical, consistent, and unshakable. Redefining the leading man. Vulnerability without fragility. When he began taking on serious dramatic roles, audiences were surprised, but critics quickly recognized something extraordinary. He brought vulnerability without fragility, strength without arrogance. His performances in films like Philadelphia and Saving Private Ryan showed a willingness to confront pain honestly, without sensationalism. These roles required emotional commitment and physical transformation, and he approached them with the same discipline he brought to everything else. He believed in honoring the story, even when it demanded sacrifice. His ability to be both strong and tender redefined what a leading man could be, not a flawless hero, but a human being with flaws, courage, and heart. The physical cost of commitment, health as accountability. Over time, sacrifices accumulated. Significant weight loss and gain for different roles placed strain on his body, and the long-term effects became part of his reality. Hanks has spoken openly about being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, acknowledging that years of extreme physical changes likely contributed. Rather than framing it as regret, he treated it as accountability. He adapted his lifestyle, accepted limitations, and continued working with renewed awareness of balance. His honesty about health challenges reveals a deeper truth. Endurance is not about ignoring pain, but about learning to live with it responsibly. The quiet strength that remains. A legacy of endurance. What stands out most about Tom Hanks is not that he endured hardship, but how he did so. There is no bitterness in his reflection, no blame cast outward. Instead, there is accountability, humility, and a persistent belief in showing up fully, even when circumstances are difficult. His resilience is quiet, expressed through consistency rather than spectacle. Beyond his famous roles, he has navigated divorce, family struggles, and public health crises with dignity. His marriage to Rita Wilson brought stability and partnership, while his early marriage to Samantha Lewis shaped his sense of responsibility and reflection. Even during illness and caregiving, including his wife's battle with breast cancer, he remained present. His legacy is not defined by awards or box office numbers, but by a life lived with compassion and integrity. Still showing up, still human. In the end, Tom Hanks's story is not about tragedy or triumph alone. It is about balance, learning to live with scars rather than hiding them, finding meaning not in escape, but in engagement. He reminds us that behind every familiar face is a complex human life shaped by choices, circumstances, and the courage to continue. Through loneliness, illness, family challenges, and the relentless demands of public life, he continues to show up. On time, prepared, thoughtful, willing to bring something of himself to the moment. That quiet commitment, more than any role, is what makes his story endure, and what makes him feel less like a myth and more like a real person we can trust.